Welcome back to the 5th of Jack Gaming, where today we're opening up 3 packs of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. I keep on saying Destinies. Neon Dynasty. They're set boosters, so that means there's 12 cards. That means we lose 3 cards, but we end up art card, foil, a chance for a list card, and a card that's from the commander decks. So, with that said, what did you end up playing anything with this? Have you opened up any packs? What did you think of the set so far? Put it down in the comments down below. We are currently ended up doing Magic the Gathering, comic books, and a few other things with the channel. That's something that has you interested. Don't be afraid to subscribe and hit that little bell icon to be notified about any of our future videos. With that said, let's dive in and see what the packs open. So we're going to have a little fun game along with this. We're going to decide which pack is the best. If you think differently when it's all said and done, put it down in the comments below and explain why you think it's differently and what you would like end up out of the pack. Jumping on into pack 1, ripping right on open. Toss that to the side, and that's the art card. So that is the Sky Swimmer Koi by Tataro Kamigawa, number 3 out of 81. I'm so sorry if I end up butchering your name. But alright, let's continue going down the line here. What's an awesome little art. Loved all the little color. Full art island. So that's something that's unique with this set. It's going to have full arts that has a little special art that's going to be historically towards Kamigawa. It's amazing art, and like I said, if we have any decks that ends up being a commander from this set, I would want to grab all the basic arts just to have a corresponding to it. So we have a Sunblade Samurai. Costs 4 and a white, it's a 4/4 human samurai. Vigilance, and right off the get-go, we have a little mechanic from it. Has channel, so that means we can end up discarding it for 2 colorless. And then channel is when you end up discarding it for that cost, and you get that effect. So the effect that this lets us do is that we get to search our library for basic planes, reveal it, and put it into our hand. Then shuffle your library, and you gain 2 life. Sounds alright to me. Daorichi Shadow Walker costs 4 and 2 black for Ogre Ninja. So, as you have samurais, you gotta have ninjas. The yin with the yang. It's a 5/5 body and it's a ninjutsu. So ninjutsu is something interesting because that ends up having, when you have an unblocked creature, you can switch it out for the ninjutsu cost and then have that creature be attacking. The ninjutsu cost of this is a 3 and a black. And that still comes over, so let's say an untapped creature was a 1/1 and you ninjutsu it, oh, they're now taking 5 because it's still unblocked. Some good old shenanigans. Mearshell Crab costs 5 and 2 blue. For an artifact creature, that's a crab, that's a 5/7 body, has ward 3. So that means before anything, if the opponent wants to target it, they have to pay 3 extra for it. Has channel. We get to pay a blue and 2, discard it, and then we get to counter a target spell or ability unless its owner pays 3. It's not too bad. And then we have Armored Guard Familiar, costs us 1 and a blue. For an artifact creature, Equipment Beast. It's a 2/1, has ward 2, which we just covered. And then an equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has ward 2. Reconfigure, which is kind of like the equip cost, only it's a little bit reconfigured to be able to be on this. The reconfigured cost is 4. So it costs us 4 to attach it to anything. Mesoseismic Sphere costs us 1 and a blue for an artifact. We can pay 1 and a blue, sacrifice it to draw 2 cards, or it has a channel where we could pay 1 blue, discard it, and draw a card. And then we have a Ninja Kanu. Costs us 1 for an equipment. For an equipment. Equipped creature has pay 1, tap it, sacrifice it. Well, sacrifice the Ninja's Nuru. And it deals 3 damage to any target. Equip costs us 1. Huh. I reconfigure and equip. Interesting. And then we have Born to Drive. Man, they must have the drive for success. Costs us 2 and a white for an aura. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+1 for each and or vehicle you control. Also has the channel to, if we discard it, we get to create 2 1/1 colors pilot creature tokens. This creature cruise vehicles as those has power of 2 or greater. Or 2 greater. I was not most clear on that. But talking about a vehicle, here's one coming right at you. High Speed Hoverbike. Costs us 2 for a 2/2 flash. So that means it can be played at any time. Flying means it could fly in the air. And then it has, when it enters the battlefield, tap up to 1 target creature. Has a crew cost of 1. So something that's unique with it is that it has a power and toughness of 1. It can end up crewing it, and we can end up using it. So the big thing about that entire mechanic is that this has to be out there for 1 turn, unless it had haste or something like that. And then if we play a 1/1, since it has a crew of 1, we can instantly end up using it, even though the 1/1 creature just came into play. It's allow us to do some shenanigans with our cards. And then the next uncommon is a Saga. So that means when it enters the battlefield, we end up doing each different lore counters on each turn. So at the first turn, we'll start off when you first play it. We'll start off with the first one and then keep on going down. It costs us 3 and a white for a Befriending the Moths. And then we at Saga 1, you end up having it triggered 2 different times. Is target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. So that's that first stage and second stage. At the third stage, we exile it, flip it over, and it becomes the Imperial Moth as a 2/4 body, and it's flying. So since we end up exiling it, when it comes back, it still can't end up attacking or doing anything with that that will cause it to tap, because it does not have haste. It still just first came on the battlefield. Chishami Reality Architect costs 2 blue for a Merfolk Lizard. What am I doing? Merfolk Wizard. It's a legendary creature, so that means it could be your commander. Woohoo! You're going to get a lot of commanders out of this set because there's a whole lot of legendary going on. It has a 2/3 body, and then whenever 1 or more non-creature permanents are returned to hand, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. Pay an X and a white. Return a land card to its owner's hand. Return a target artifact or enchantment card with a mana value of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this only as a sorcery. So that means we could bring back sagas, vehicles, other enchantments, and equipments back for paying any kind of cost that comes with it. So like this, for instance, we could pay 1 and 1 white and then return a land to our hand and bring this back onto the battlefield for another use. Very interesting, and it'll be kind of a fun little commander. Maybe down the road we might build it. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then we have an Imperial Subduer. Costs us 2 and a white for a human samurai that has a 3/2 body. And whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, tap a target creature you don't control. And the final card is a spirit. It's a 1/1 spirit. Talking about having a spirited conversation. Bad joke, I know. Womp womp womp. Pack 1 was meh, it was alright. It had a nice little commander in there. Well, I kind of hope for a little bit more spice and a little bit more action with Pack 2. Talk about Pack 2. Let's pop her open and see what we get. Coming out of Pack 2. Oh, that's funny. We just got that card last pack. That's the Imperial Subduer. Oh, go figure. Zona Alfonso, number 2 out of 81. No full art land with this one because we have a Jungle Howl. It's a land that enters the battlefield tap. You gain 1 life. Would be really good with that legendary in the last pack because you can end up gaining more life as you keep on playing it. It taps for a green or a black. Have a Nizumi Blade Blesser, costs 2 and a black. For a Rat Samurai, that's a 3/2 body. And as long as you control an artifact, it has Death Touch. As long as you control an enchantment, it has Menace. That means it has to be black by 2 or more creatures. And then we have a Bearer of Memory. Costs 2 and a green. For an enchantment creature, that's a human monk, that's a 3/2 body. Pay 5 and a green, put a +1/+1 counter on a target enchantment creature. It gains trample until end of turn. And then we have Akai Ember Keeper. Costs 1 and a red for an enchantment creature. Goblin Warrior, that's a 2/1 body. Whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless spirit token. So a modified creature is a creature that has an equipment, an aura, or a counter on it. Anything that ends up modifying it. And then we have Adaka Warpaint, costs 1 red for an aura. An enchantment or enchanted artifact or a creature. As long as it's enchanted permanent, it's a creature that has a 2/1 body. And then Thirst of Knowledge, costs 2 and a blue. Oh man, there's the villain of Tezzeret right there. Draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. It's the first uncommon out of the pack. Oh, here is an artifact. Containment Construct costs 2 for a 2/1 construct. Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, play that card this turn. Wow, that's a little bit brokenness. Behold, the Unspeakable. Costs 3 and 2 blue. At the first step of this saga, creatures you don't control get -2, -0 until your next turn. And then at the second one, if you control if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 4 cards. Otherwise, scry 2 and then draw 2 cards. And then we get to exile it for Vision of the Unspeakable. It's a spirit. As a 0/0, fly, trample, and Vision of the Unspeakable gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand. So it gets to be as big as your hand. Don't have it when you have no cards, though. That'd be a little risky business, then so it'll be going bye-bye. Man, this is a saga pack. The Fall of Lord Kondo. Costs 2 and a white. At the first one, we get to exile it. Target creature an opponent controls with a mana value of 4 or greater. At the second one, each player gains control of all permanents they control. And at the third one, it flips into the Fragment of Kondu. Because it has a 1/3 body, defender, and when it dies, we draw a card. And this is why I said that's kind of interesting, because we have the Shattered States era. Costs us 4 and a red for this saga. At the first one, we get to gain control of a target creature, untap it, and it gains haste until end of turn. At the second one, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. And then at the third one, it flips over to the Nameless Conqueror. It's a 3/3, has trample and haste. And then our rare is Tatsumi Abandoned Mire. It's a legendary land. Has tap, add a black. And it has this little thing called Channel, where we get to pay 3 and a black, discard it, mill 3 cards, and return a creature card or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. This ability costs us 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. And then we gotta give a gift, which is our foil of the pack, is the Gift of Wrath. Costs us 3 and a red. For Aura, enchant artifact or a creature. As the enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +2/+2 and has menace. When it leaves the battlefield, create a 2/2 red spirit creature token with menace. And then we have an advertisement for Arena. Why? Even with that, I would say Pack 2 ends up taking the lead from Pack 1. I like the land, and it sounds like a little bit fun, and some shenanigans with the Reanimate. Let's see what Pack 3 has in store for us. The art card. Love how it's like an anime style with it. Cover Technician by Daisuke Izuka. Number 51 out of 81. Planes full art. Oh, that's funny. There's the Converted Technician. Ah, we got the art card and the thing in the same pack. Very interesting. So, it costs us 2 and a blue for a 2/4 Human Ninja. Has ninjutsu of 1 and a blue. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may put an artifact card equal to the mana value less than or equal to the damage from your hand onto the battlefield. So it does 2. We end up putting an artifact on there that costs us 2 or less. Crackling Emergence costs us 1 and a red for an aura. Enchant land you control. The enchanted land becomes a 3/3 red spirit creature token with haste. It's still a land. If it would be destroyed, instead sacrifice the Kraken Emergence, and the land gains indestructible until end of turn. And then we have a Moonfolk Puzzle Maker. Costs us 2 and a blue for an artifact creature that's a Moonfolk Wizard. It's a 1/4 body, flying. And whenever it becomes tapped, we get to scry 1. And then we have the Moon Snare Specialist. It costs us 3 and a blue for a Human Ninja. That's a 2/2 body. Has a ninjutsu of 2 and a blue. And whenever it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature card to its owner's hand. And then we have a Network Disruptor. Costs us 1 for a Merfolk Rogue. It's a 1/1 flying. And when it enters the battlefield, tap a target permanent. And then we have an Enormous Energy Blade. Costs us 2 and a black for an equipment. Equipped creature gets +4/+0. And whenever the blade becomes attached to a creature, tap that creature. As a quick cost of 2. Unforgiven Ogre costs us 2 and a black for a spirit. Has menace. It's a 2/3 body. And then whenever it attacks, return a target creature card with a mana value of X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. Then we have a Historian's Wisdom. Costs us 2 and a green for an enchantment. Enchanted artifact or creature. And when it enters the battlefield, if enchanted permanent is a creature with a greatest power among the creatures on the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchantment permanent is a creature, it gets a +2/+1. Then we have the Modern Age. When it comes into play, and then on this next turn after that, we get to draw a card and then discard a card. Exile it, and it flips over into Vector Glider. Has a power of 2 and a toughness of 3. Has flying. And then we have the Magician Core. Costs us 2 for a vehicle. That's a 2/4 body. Pay 5, and then we get to exile it. And 4 other artifact creatures or vehicles you control create a Mech Titan, a legendary 10/10 construct. Artifact creature with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste that has all colors. When a token leaves the battlefield, return all cards exiled with core except for the core with the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Has a crew cost of 2. Holy smokes, that thing has a lot of attacks. That's the rare out of the pack. And then the foil is Guardian of Arabo. Costs 2 and a blue for a Morpho Samurai. It has a power toughness of 3 and 4. As Defender, modified creatures you control can attack those they don't have Defender. And then a good old treasure token. I'll have to say pack 2 ended up winning. As I say, that landed really brought it in with the clutch. What did you guys think? Put it down in the comments down below. And if you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified about any of our future content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.